There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live with the Filamer Christian University and Trent Information First Technical Career Institute Incorporated. So today, we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, Ernst& Young Philippines, Accenture, and Inspiro. So before we start, may we invite everybody for the invocation led by Reverend Medi T. Alimongan, FCU Chaplain, and to be immediately followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Let us pray. Almighty and everlasting God, in this beautiful morning, we affirm your presence to each and everyone in this virtual career orientation, our invited speakers and students. Thank you for another new life and thank you for your faithfulness. As this virtual career orientation is about to start, I pray that the presence of your Holy Spirit will inspire everyone today. I pray that each student who are here in this virtual orientation will have a clear understanding about the purpose of this activity. Put the students in the right direction as they search for their jobs and align them with your plan. Fill them with the values and convictions that will equip them. When they feel doubtful or lost in their career journey, remind them of your never-ending presence. Remind them that they will never walk alone. As you have made them wonderfully, I know that you have designed their story beautifully. Lord, I pray that they will see your plan unfold. Father God, to you I commit everything, and I commit also everyone in this virtual orientation. In Jesus' loving name I pray. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
All right. So again, welcome everyone. Ready na ba kayo? Ayan. I hope you all are. And if you are here watching, ready to listen and learn, so kindly hit the heart react button. Ayan. Para makita naman namin. And of course, by the way, my name is Joyce from jobs180.com. I will be your today's host, and we are live via Jobs180 Facebook and Jobs180 YouTube page. And of course, we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. So please do not hesitate also to share this live to your friends para sama-sama tayong matuto ngayong umaga. And of course, to officially start today's session, may we invite Dr. Minnie P. Chan, the Vice President for Academics of FCU, to give us the opening remarks.
To the people behind the jobs180.com, and of course the Guidance and Counseling Center of Filamer Christian University, the viewers, the students who are here, and to all the friends and guests who may be watching, a pleasant morning. We are very thankful to jobs180.com for this opportunity for our students to be oriented about what is happening now in the field, especially that we are now in the IT era and IT BPMs are actually on the rise. And almost 10% of the income now actually of the Philippines is being contributed by IT BPM, which is actually a source of so many jobs. So I think it is high time for students to consider, another way of employment, not just the regular 8 hours office, and also to equip themselves with what is being required by the IT BPM and industry. So I am very glad at the onset that when I heard about all these things that you have speakers from Accenture, and I know that you are already trying to develop in our students, a new way of looking at things. So I hope that our Guidance and Counseling Center would also be able to catch up together with our students, the faculty and staff, and everyone. So I hope that we will all learn together this morning. And I am very grateful again for jobs180.com's initiative to do this. So God bless us all, and let us have a wonderful day.
All right, so thank you so much, Ms. Mini. Thank you, ma'am, for the kind words and of course for casing the event. So we are hoping that the students would learn a lot po from this session. So ayan, maraming salamat. And of course for trusting Jobs 180 to power your events, maraming salamat. FCU, and of course aside from FCU, we have audience po, students from Trent Information First Technical Career Institute. So, ayan, magandang umaga sa inyo. So, if you're watching, kindly hit the heart react button, ayan, if you're watching. And of course, as usual, for our audience today, so please comment your name, your school, ayan, And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. So the Q&A will happen po after each speaker's presentation. And so do not hesitate to ask questions if you have. And of course, here's our schedule for today. So we have 4 topics for today's session. So first, we have the job applications using the resume link, which will be discussed by jobs180.com. Next topic is answering interview questions by Ernst& Young. Next is communication skills for workplace success by Accenture, and last is New Normal World of Work by Inspiro. So again, shout out to everyone who is here na. Again, please comment your name, your year, and your course school. Ayan. So if you're from FCU or you're from Trent. And as we go along, please type in your questions so we can read it later. So please huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. Okay. So if you are all ready na, kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. So for our first topic, which is job applications using the resume link. So our first presenter has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career developments in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So the managing director from jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Everyone. Good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply, no? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Di ba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Mukha lang akong salesman pero libre po ito. Okay? So, this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called ResumeLink. ResumeLink, by definition, is the most secured tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you are John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobs180.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Na okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik ta rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J. O kaya J Santos. O kaya JS. Di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, huwag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobsonid.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs on 80. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman, di ba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step after you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password. Na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas na miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede kang makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo. No, willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social-civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi porkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, 2 lengguwahe na at the minimum. You know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Sabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, 'di ba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. 'Di Diba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese. Kung ano man yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa siya lang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency, no, ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yan talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, ito pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Itong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung matatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, diba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba. No? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende kung ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende kung ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba, na napag-aralan. Diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka kung paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And, most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming istorbo. Diba? Sometimes, when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari, nasa biyahe. Diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing with the ResumeLink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, diba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, hindi, wag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Wag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the ResumeLink is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example, by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag nyo gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan, lalaki man babae, between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan, member man tayo ng LGBTQ+. Okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think, babae ako. Di ba? Eh, pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris. Nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick. O, di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O, di ba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong iExpert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. Diba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa'yo ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on, what happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo i-on or i-off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information. And in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yun ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs180.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? O kaya ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs180.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs180.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so anong gagawin? Tignan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, and when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs180.com. Send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file. Diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na may HR. Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume. Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume. Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume. I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras yan, nakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka-real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O diba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, diba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O diba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O diba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, ang tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it depende kung ano ang gusto mo. Pagiging creativity mo, ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang naman normal business cards natin. Diba? So, depende. So, maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so, after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20. Bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards? instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper. Bakit? Unang-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, ito, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, dun pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, di ba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Di ba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, di ba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide. From north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control, sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay. Diba? So, ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your job street resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to ResumeLink ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala. Anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng ResumeLink mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your ResumeLink. Number 4 question, I think is the most important question. How often should you update your ResumeLink? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ka ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontak ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details niyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? Oh, 'di ba? Char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay? You may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay? So, check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
All right. So, thank you so much, Sir Kim. So, on screen, we have Sir Kim to answer your questions. So, if you have questions po, so we are now opening the floor for questions. So, to FCU and Trent, magandang umaga. And if you have questions regarding the topic, I'm sure you have. Huwag po kayong may magtanong, please kindly post your questions on the comment section. Ayan. So, hintayin po namin ang inyong mga tanong. And I'm sure marami kayong questions kasi on June 9, Sir Kim, kasama si Trent and si FCU sa ating job fair. Ayan. So, if you have questions, ngayon pa lang po kasi you will be using your resume link on the day of the job fair. So, at least, kindly ask questions. So, while waiting for questions, Sir Kim, I'll be asking na po muna. So, so first, since we have two schools po for today, so we have FCU and Trent. So, Sir Kim, how do I make sure my resume stands out? Ayan.
How do you make sure that your resume will stand out? Una-una, you have to put there all the things that will highlight your skills. Yan yung importante. The skills that are even not connected to your course, you put it there. No? Kumbaga sa simpleng tanong lang dito na kailangan mo sagutin, why should the company choose you and not your classmate? Ayan. Or not your best friend, not your barkada. Ayan. Okay? So, you think of that answer, I'm sure may sagot kayo sa tanong na yan. Diba? Hindi mo lang siguro sasabihin diretso dun sa kaibigan mo. Pero, yung sagot na yun, yan yung kailangan mo ngayon i-package. Because that's what you intend to do here. You want to stand out. Yan, no? Diba? Yan. So, yun yung recommend ko dyan. You highlight your skills. Everything.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. So, another question is, this question po, question pa last time. So, hindi natin to na-answer. Parang, I'm not sure if we get available, sir. So, would like to ask na lang, so para sa clarification, para clear din sa iba, what's the difference daw po between CV and resume, and what's the real purpose of having a resume?
Okay. So, aside from the obvious difference na terminology, biro lang, no? Yung CV kasi, curriculum vitae, is usually a very comprehensive information, no, about the person. So, pag sabi comprehensive, hindi naman sa talambuhay mo, nandyan na. Pero, ano siya, kumbaga, all the other details are there. Mas comprehensive, basically, ang CV. I don't recommend you do something like that because one, when you submit to companies, hindi pa naman ito yung stage kung saan I think the HR will be requesting for a very comprehensive information about your work profile, education background, everything, no? What you wanted to do here is to one, remember, catch their attention. Two, get them to at least spend time to look at your information. Yan yung dalawa. Yan yung dalawang kumbaga sa boxing, parang 1-2 punch yan. Yan yung dalawang kailangan kung mahuli mo, 'di ba? Sa dami-dami na aplikante, kailangan catch attention. Yun yung una. Pag nakita nila yung information mo, then they read through it, then they learn about the highlights about you. Basically, the highlights there are your skills. Yun nga isasabi ko kanina, the answer to the earlier question ni Ma'am Joyce. Then that's where you position your application. So for me, yung difference nun, again, to answer the question, CV mas comprehensive, resume it's a mas compressed version ng mga information mo. Ayan. So that's the reason why we call this resume link. No, we didn't call this CV link. Ayan. Ayan, so,
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. So it is recommended po for first-time job seekers that you create resume instead of kasi sir, may schools wherein they still ask for CV daw po instead of
kasi
resume.
ako minsan ito nga yung tanong ko 'di ba? Will they really care kung nakalagay diyan pangalan ng papa mo, mama mo, no? With respect to your parents, of course, no. And I'm not saying that you don't put them there because you don't want to honor them. Pero ang idea dito is hindi hindi yan yung practicality lang tayo, 'di ba? You don't really put all these other information there that are I say let's go straight to the point, 'di ba? Yun na yun eh, yung anong pwede mo may offer doon sa company at this point, especially kung lahat kayo fresh grad. 'Di ba? Usually kung lahat kayo fresh graduate, ano nga ba? Ano nga ba? 'Di ba yung tanong diyan eh. 'Di ba? Kaya nga yung tanong ko doon simple, bakit ikaw at hindi yung classmate mo? Or ganun na lang eh, no? So, yun. You think of that answer, you think of that question, and whatever the answer is, you now try to package it inside your resume link.
Alright, thank you, sir. And of course, sana we're hoping na hanggang CV lang, baka mamaya may biodata pa dyan, Hindi namin alam kung kilala niyo pa ang biodata, pero sana wala na kaming marinig na biodata, ayan. So, ayan. So, thank you, sir. So, ayan, may question po tayo from Miss Jimel. Ayan. So, what is your recommended number of pages per resume, sir? So, is a one-page resume better than multiple pages resume when applying for a job?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Ma'am Faith or Ma'am Jimil, no? Hindi yan sa dami ng pages eh. Hindi yan sa, like ko sinasabi, no, hindi yan sa kulay ng papel, hindi yan sa kung may glitter mayan, 'di ba? May music, may pop-up, naka-hologram pa, 'di ba? Hindi yan yung about the paper or about the dami, yung dami ng pages nyo. Kasi marami nga yung pages nyo, kung yung font size mo naman, sabi ko, size 45, di ba? Ganun din eh. Umabot ka ng 2-3 pages. Pwede naman siya i-compress eh, di ba? Sa akin, again, I look at practicality here and efficiency. I recommend we do it in one page. One page, why? Because you wanted to be able to capture yung essence eh, yung everything is there. Kumbaga sa movie, yung papanoorin mo ng na 6 na o yung 9 na oras na movie, 'di ba? Example, trilogy ng Lord of the Rings. 'Yan, 'di ba? Hindi ko alam kung napanood niyo yung Lord of the Rings, pero ako pinanood ko yung 3 trilogy noon. Talagang napakahaba, 'di ba? Tipong 9 hours. Kung kaya mo naman yung ma-compress, 'di ba? And still put all the essence there, you don't miss out syempre yung mga important items doon. I think that will be better. You watch a 3-hour movie compared to a 9-hour movie. O example lang. Parang ganun siya. Okay, so ganito rin yung sa pag-position mo ng resume nyo. Mas recommend ko, you put it in one page, you try to compress it also in one page. If you use the Jobs on 80 print version, the system automatically compresses everything na no, into one page. So, doon pa lang, malaking ginhawa na. Tapos sa part ng gastos, tipid din kasi isa lang kailangan mo i-print out, isang diretsuhan. If you're the HR, mas konti rin yung tatapon nila later on. Kung sakali lang hindi marami rin sila mag-scratch paper or marami si shred. Again, I'm just joking lang on that side, pero ang point ko lang is the more comprehensive, the better. Okay, yun. Pero kung talagang halimbawa, marami ka na experience later on, no? Later on, I'm talking about you have like extensive experience na and you want to highlight them at hindi talaga kasya sa one page. Pangit naman kung pinaglagay mo sa font size 5 na lang yung font size mo, 'di ba? Mas hindi rin maganda 'yon, 'di ba? Parang pinaglagay mo nga sa one page pero naka-magnifying glass naman yung titingin, 'di ba? So ideally, you just recommend ko lang to answer your question, better to still put it in one page para tipid and easy to manage, no? Both sides. Applicant side, HR side, easy to look at kung ano yung mga highlight. Yun. Just choose the things you want to highlight na lang. Yan.
Alright, thank you, sir. Actually, may follow-up question yan, sir. So, yan. Actually, parang same lang yata, PM. May side comment. Cute-cute mo daw, Sir Kim. Ayan, so
Na,
mag-ask ka ng
malabo na
question,
mata
Sir
nyo.
Rafael. Mag-ask ka ng question, Sir Rafael. Ayan, so, ayan, yung follow-up question, sir, is, what if the resume daw po is too long and wordy? Paano daw nila ika-cut? Ayan, so, I think, ano siya sa question ni Miss Jamil. Ayan, so what are the
Paano
relevant
kung ano ulit? Paano kung too long?
Yes, and wordy daw po. So, how do they cut daw po or paano daw nila i-compress in one page? What are the relevant information na dapat daw
Mm,
nilang ilagay in one
okay.
page?
Alam mo minsan ganito 'yan eh. Alam mo yung some people they're able to express things in a longer fashion, no? Minsan yung gusto mo lang sabihin example lang gusto mo lang sabihin na ikaw ay hardworking, no? Yung isang word na you are hardworking, kaya mo yan ipahaba na umabot na isang paragraph. 'Di ba? That's sometimes different people, sabi nga different folks, different strokes, 'di ba? So may iba, ang dami-dami sinasabi, pero pag binasa mo, yun naman yung point nila. It's basically the same. So to answer your question, sa nagtanong kung paano mo paiksiin, you try to read through kung ano yung kinompose mo. Tapos hanapin mo doon yung key point na gusto mo maparating. Ano yung key point mo, 'di ba? Kung yung key point mo is hardworking, kung key point mo is a strong team leader, o yan, 'di ba? Hindi lang strong leader, strong na team leader pa, halimbawa. So, maraming description 'di ba, to back it up. Pero doon, you might want to recompose it, edit it, find words that you can choose na pwede mo mas ma-hit yung message mo and not explaining it in the entire 2-3 sentences, 'di ba? Parang ginagawa ko ngayon, 'di ba? Isang tanong niyo, simple lang yung sagot eh. Ang haba ng sabi ko eh, 'di ba? Ang dami kong kinento eh. Pero pwede ko naman siya sabihin na you just keep it short and simple. O sabi ko lang KISS, diba? KISS, keep it short and simple. Pero hindi, ang ginawa ko, dami kong elaborate, 'di ba? So ganyan. So basically I'm just applying what I'm saying here, 'di ba? Oh, 'yun. So 'yun, review and then try to cut it down, 'di ba? Kung yung gusto mo sabihin na gawa mo ng 5 sentences, you might want to cut it down into 3 sentences. 'Di ba? Kung kaya mo pa i-shorten na hindi mawawala yung essence, syempre ayaw mo mag-submit ng resume na utal-utal naman yung sagot, 'di ba? puro words and phrases lang. Pag ganoon, wala rin mangyayari, 'di ba? Iksingan ng resume mo, hindi naman naintindihan ng HR. 'Di ba? So, yun lang. So try to keep it short and simple. And nandun pa rin yung essence. Okay?
Alright, thank you, sir. Ayan, so, in relevance na naman dyan sa question na yan, sir. Of course po, job seekers are still prone po in making mistakes po with their resumes, no? So, sino po yung mga tao or who can I get to review my resume for errors before sending them out to the employers po?
Yan, that's a very good question, no? Kasi minsan pag tinanong mo yung kaibigan mo nagtatanong din sa iyo, pareho kayo nagtatanungan, baka mali yung ma-comment din, 'di ba? Hindi naman sa mali yung ma-comment. It's more of you might want to ask people, other people's assistants, no, yung mas senior sa inyo. Example, you can check for kung kaya mo istorbohin yung teacher nyo, 'di ba? Kausapin mo. If you have relatives who are in that kind of field, no, nasa HR, better. Kung wala, you might want to reach out to someone that's to get other perspective lang. Pero kung classmate mo, wala naman problema, wala namang sinabi kahit magka-level kayo eh. Pwede mo nga ipa-check to sa mas bata mong kapatid, 'di ba? Pwede naman eh, 'di ba? But you try to get different perspective lang. 'Yun yung ibig ko sabihin, because sometimes yung if 'di ba may kasabihan, yung birds of the same feather, they flock together. 'Di ba? So kung pare-pareho kayo, same yung mindset nyo, same yung understanding mo, same ikot nyo, pagka ganun na nangyari, baka naman din kayo ganun at ganun din yung resulta, 'di ba? So wala rin mangyari. Ayun. By the way, heads up lang pala, may nag-message sa akin yung
Yes, sir.
next speaker nagre-restart lang ng laptop, sabi ni Mariel. Ayun, nag-message
Okay.
siya ngayon. Oo, nag-shoutout lang ako. Ayan, para lang alam ninyo. Mm.
We'll wait for you, Miss Yel. Ayan. So, habang hinihintay ka namin, may questions pa kami for Sir Kim. Ayan. So, another question, Sir Kim. For you daw po, what's the worst resume mistake ever? Ayan. Parang pang ano yung tanong.
Worst resume mistake, yung hindi chine-check yung very basic spell check.
Mhm.
Yung hindi nga siya much of grammar eh. For me, spell check one, yung pag-capitalize ng mga mga tawag nito, proper nouns. Yan very simple. Like your school, if you put there Filamer Christian University tapos hindi mo lang nakakapitalize, 'di ba? Yun pa lang, very simple. Or Trent, 'di ba? You put there, syempre mahaba yung pangalan ng Trent, 'di ba? Trent Information, mahaba yung pangalan. Trent Information First Technical Career Institute. May iba dyan, lalagay lang dyan, capital letter, yung Trent. Tapos pagdating sa Information First Technical Career Institute, lahat small letter na. These are real small things, pero it says a lot, no, about the person. So yan yung para sa akin. Doon pa lang, ano na siya parang, hindi mo lang chinek. Diba? Or hindi mo talaga alam. O yun lang yun, dalawa lang yun, 'di ba? Dalawa yung problema diyan. Sometimes iba pangalan nila hindi nga nakakapitalize eh. I've receive a lot of resumes, in fact, resume links. Yung pangalan nila hindi nakakapitalize. O so doon pa lang, 'di ba? May very small
Matindi yung
lang to, small
pangalan, hindi na
mistake.
nakakapital.
Mm.
Alright. Ayan. So,
May nagtanong din sa akin dito, may message pumasok. Sabi,
yes, sir.
pwede ba raw mag-explore ng trabaho na wala doon sa area nila? Halimbawa, kasi sa example sa Filamer, nasa Rojas to, no, nasa may Capiz. Can you explore work outside of your area where you are right now? The answer is definitely yes. Wala naman bawal, basta lang alam nyo po yung papasukan nyo, you do your research, wag yung apply na apply tapos bahala na kung sino unang tumawag. Never do that, no? Never have that attitude na kung sino lang yung tumawag siya na bahala na, si Batman kung tawagin. Wag ganon, 'di ba? So what you need to do, you do your research even if it's outside. Let's say you want to apply to the Visayas region or you want to apply to the Mindanao area or even in NCR. Pwede naman wala namang kaso. Even outside the country pwede. Basta lang alam mo yung papasukan mo, ni-research, binasa mo, inaral mo yung responsibilities at requirements, then yes, you can explore. Kahit na wala siyang connect sa course mo, by the way, yun din yung pahabol ko dyan. Some people kasi are asking, pag accountant po ba ako, dapat accounting job lang yung pasukan ko. Diba? Siyempre, kung tatanungin mo ang Ernst & Young, susunod natin speaker, sabihin nila oo, kasi hinahanap nila mga accountants diba? Pero, even if you're not in that field, I recommend you explore. Yun yung sa akin. I-explore. Wala ka sa IT, pero mahilig ka sa IT stuff, mahilig ka sa graphic design, edi apply ka doon sa ganong field. Yan. Okay?
Totoo, sir. Kasi ngayon marami job seekers na nadi-dishearten sila kapag nag-a-apply sila ng trabaho not related sa course nila. So, hindi naman doon natatapos ang pag-ikot ng mundo, guys. So, experience din yan. So, sayang, no? So,
Mm,
sabi ko Sir Kim, try to explore. Ayan. So, mga bata pa naman kayo.
yes.
So, and ayan. So,
By the way,
ayan.
sabi rin pala, Ma'am Joyce, kasi 'di ba yung may job fair sila on June 9.
June 9,
So
reminder,
guys,
sir.
yung mga taga FCU tsaka Trent, shout out lang Don't forget, mark it in your calendar. That's a few days from now. That's June 9. June 9 is exactly Friday. This coming Friday, no? Meron po kayong virtual career fair 1:30 ng hapon. Ano mangyari? Expect nyo that companies who are joining that event, they will be expecting your resume link. Okay? For convenience and for security purposes, mas mabilis for efficiency, they'll be asking for your resume link. So please make sure you go to the respective links that you're seeing. Ngayon, tingnan mo yung screen ngayon. May nag-scroll na link. You go to schools.jobsonit.com/FCU or you can also go to schools.jobsonit.com/Trent. Ayan, nakita nyo, nagsuscroll. Puntahan nyo yung link na yan and then you register for your job fair. Okay, sa mga pupunta po ng job fair. Ako recommend ko rin, explore nyo. Kahit naman may trabaho na kayo, This is virtual. You can take some time to connect pa rin even if you're in your at your duty, kung saan ka man, nag-work ka, tapos pwede ka mag-take ng break, connect ka and explore for opportunities. 'Di ba? You never know. Baka yung ibang companies diyan na nag-open ng other greener pasture, sabi nga, no? Pwede
Mhm.
pa 'yun, explore nyo na. Okay? So, yun, don't forget.
And so actually the two schools are actually asking for the job fair reminders, but don't worry guys, we are going to send po the job fair reminders before your job fair. So thank you so much, Sir Kim. So I think no more questions from the audience, for me as well. So thank you so much for discussing about resume link. So if you have questions, guys, you still have questions, so kindly post it or them sa ating comment section and we'll try to answer. So, andyan pa rin naman si Sir Kim, eh. So, we'll try to answer your questions. So,
Thank
maraming
you.
maraming
Thank you.
Sir Kim. So, if you'd like to explore and know more about chops180.com, you may visit our website. It's www.chops180.com. Or you may visit your school portal. So, again, for Trent, your school site is schools180.com/Trent. And for FCU, it's schools180.com/FCU. All right, so moving on to our next topic and next speaker. So answering interview questions. So our next presenter, Miss Yale, has been in the industry for more than 10 years now, handling different facets of HR. So she started with outbound sourcing, then moved to end-to-end recruitment, processing to facilities and employee relations to talent marketing, and now handling university partnerships and linkages. So the talent attraction and talent acquisition from Ernst& Young Philippines, Miss Mariel December Palomares. Hi, Miss Yale. Good morning.
Hi, Miss Joyce. Good morning. Can you hear me
Good
clearly
morning.
po?
Yes, ma'am, loud and clear. Ma'am, you may now share your screen.
Okay.
Again
Can you
to
see my screen
Trent
right now?
and FU. Ayan. So if you have questions, kindly post your questions in the comment section. So Miss Yel, your screen, your presentation is up. So if you're ready, I'll leave it to it po. I'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Yel.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Joyce. Okay, good morning, everyone. Nice to have you here, and it's an honor to have been invited for this webinar this morning. So, first off, I'm Yel from Ernst& Young Global Delivery Services Philippines under campus team. Okay, so I'll be quickly discussing this, giving you tips, interview tips, or tips on answering common interview questions this morning. So I hope you're able to take your breakfast. So let's start. Um, First, okay, so I'm sure ito, very familiar kayo with this because ito talaga is sobrang gasgas na. But still, if, even if it's widely used or commonly used, it is still used. Okay, up until right now, 2023, some recruiters still use this question. Okay, but me personally, I don't use this. But if ever you encounter a recruiter who'll ask you, can you tell me something about yourself? Because how do you like strategically answer this, or what is the best way to answer this question? Okay, so first and foremost, you need to use the tailoring method. 'Di ba? Pag when you say tailoring, it's like tahe. Kumbaga, tahe yung storya nyo, tahe yung kwento nyo. So, you don't jump into, same with use a chronological approach, right? So, you don't jump into one story and another. Like, you started with you as a graduate of, for example, BS Accountancy. I started from, let's say, this school, okay, and then afterwards, you shift into your habits, then you shift into your skills, then suddenly a project, and suddenly again about your family or something personal, or you need to answer it in a sense that um, you start with perhaps for school related information like your internship, that you're taking up this course in Filamer Christian University, and then afterwards, details about your internship, when you started, how many hours, and then after that, um, if you want to elaborate, okay, or if let's say you feel, because sometimes we feel that if the recruiter is like in a rush, or there's like a certain minutes na required sila. So the question is really fast. So either you can kasi answer it in a short, like 1 minute 2 minutes answer, or at up until siguro matagal na yung 3 minutes actually. Because normally you just tell them the course, the school, um, let's say your a little bit about your other skills or soft skills, and then siguro kung saan kayo nag-internship, something like that. Because what you need to avoid is, as you can see there, is just repeating what you said in the cover letter, okay, and telling your life story, or answering well, what do you want to know? Okay, so because that might sound a bit off for the recruiter. Okay, and of course a 10-minute monologue. So that's why we try to answer it um, short and sweet. As they say, 'di ba? Sabi nga nila, less talk, less mistake. Especially if you're nervous, it's your first interview. So perhaps if I'll be asked this by a recruiter, Yel, can you tell me something about yourself? Perhaps I'll just tell them, um, I'm a BS psychology graduate, for example, from this school. And if ever I didn't put in their skills that I have, kasi if I put in, I'll just repeat it. Yung course and school kasi pwede mong parang i-reiterate at some point. But there are skills or hobbies that you didn't indicate there, for example, something to do with your community, something about your org, you can also tell that. Or for example, I'm Mariel, but you can call me Yel. You can also tell them your nickname, or I preferred to be called this and that. Besides being an active member of our org, I'm also active in our community. I do this, I do that during my spare time. Ganun lang. Tapos na. Okay? So you don't need to overemphasize things that you think will not really give you plus points. And another common question is, why should we hire you? Okay, so you need to stay achievement oriented for this one. You need to know beforehand, before going to the interview, what are your strengths. Okay, so let's say you don't need to be it's a plus if you're a Latin honor or running for honors or part of the top 10 or a scholar. So those are already downright achievements, right? What if, Miss Yel, I don't have those? No, I'm just an ordinary student. I'm not really an overachiever. That's fine. Okay, you can think of other somehow achievement link. Let's say based on a certain project, I was able to lead this, or think of a project that you were a leader, or think of a project that let's say let's say you're a member, but you help achieve this certain goal. Okay, when you say this goal that you help achieve, you need to put in numbers or data. I was a member of JPA, for example, the org for accountants. And though I was not a leader during this project, I was a member, but I was able to help contribute and reach 20% of this and that, or in a span of just 1 month, something like that. So you need to think of ways how to highlight, kasi binibenta nyo yung sarili nyo during the interview. So you need to make sure that, of course, when selling yourself, you need to um, stress things that you think will give you an edge compared to other applicants. Okay. Either you have other skills, let's say you're a tourism student, but you're tech savvy. You can inform them that, or you're an IT student, but at the same time, besides having these certifications, you can indicate them, you should hire me because I am a certified Microsoft something. Or let's say if you don't have that, perhaps you can hire me because you can focus more on your excitement of the duty. Ever since I was elementary, I was dreaming to be, let's say, a early childhood education teacher ever since. So my passion is there, my dedication is there. um, I studied very hard and was part of like this, like that. Okay, so that is if you don't have really some highlights there. So you can perhaps stress on how you really love this role, and what's with that certain job that you really love, or that you really desire ever since you were young. Okay, so yun yung mga pwede mong i-highlight. Good thing about those who have achievements talaga, like documented that they were honor student, a part of the top 10, part of the top 15, or an officer of an org. So those are automatic plus. Or if you're an athlete, right? I am the team captain of this. I'm a member, an active member of this. We compute. I'm seeing, sorry, we compete. We enter inter-school competitions. Being an athlete is also an edge, even if you, regardless, of course. Okay, so you can put it there. What is your greatest strength or greatest weakness, for example? So again, you need to tailor your answer. Okay, you don't avoid jumping here and there and medyo kalat yung thoughts. So perhaps what you need to do is and of course your tone should be not arrogant. Okay, confident but not arrogant. So this takes practice actually, because sometimes, as they say, there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. Okay, so if you were able to practice this, at least perhaps as your friend, a family member, someone close to you. If let's say if I answer this question, how do I sound? Okay, so with that, you can perhaps, let's say, allow me to say that my strength is actually time management and collaboration. Okay, and then tailor it with a certain story or match it with a certain story. So why did you say that that is your strength? Okay, don't just say it because you don't have anything to say. Okay, you need to have proof. Sabi nga nila, kailan may resibo. Di ba yan yung usually ginagamit nowadays. So that's why it's stated here, match it with a story. Okay, and if it's a weakness, choose a non-essential skill. Okay, so for example, um, let's say if you're a tourism student, for example, so you can choose perhaps right now, I can see, I think I can consider my one of the things that I consider my weakness is presentation skills, but I'm trying to my best. I'm looking for during my spare time, I try to search in YouTube, TikTok, and other online platforms, modules, short courses where I can learn or I can practice more, something like that. So you need to make sure that um, you're able to inform them that you're trying your best, or these are the things that I'm trying to do right now for me to be able to convert that weakness into strength. Okay, so kasi hindi naman talaga it might be one of the somehow things that they need to check in terms of you're applying for a flight attendant, for example. Hindi naman talaga crucial yung presentation skills, right? So more on customer service chat, more on service oriented role. However, if let's say you're on sales or on marketing, you cannot inform them that you have struggles with presentation skills kasi that's important. Diba? How can you be on top of, let's say, how can you present to your clients if you're not confident enough, or if you'll say that you don't have presentation skills or not comfortable in using English as your language. Okay, so make sure that you do some research. That's very important. And make sure that the weakness that you'll state will not directly be a hit on your application. Kasi baka mamaya, what you're informing them na weakness is actually even part of the key responsibilities in the job ad. So you need to make sure to read the job ad, understand the job ad or the job posting, check there. Nakalagay na doon na excellent to above average English communication skills. Tapos sinabi mo pang weakness, hindi po kasi ako masyado magaling mag-English. So, out ka na kaagad since naka-indicate na sa job ad that's one of the top priorities that there are, at least the top skills that you're trying to look for. Okay? So, medyo careful tayo dapat dito. It takes practice, it takes research. And then same with this one, why do you want to work here? Why do you want to work with us? Okay, so this again, you need to do some research. Okay, look at your career goals. Is this aligned? Kasi baka naman mamaya your career goals, if you'll be asked a certain question, let's say, why do you want to work with us? Tapos yung sagot mo naman pala, you're eyeing to do business. So say, syempre, what the employer will think, so why should we still hire you? You might leave us after a year or two when you're able to start your own business. Okay, so you need to be careful with what you say. Again, less talk, less mistake. You need to be concise with your answer. Avoid elaborating, your answer up to some such point na they'll be able to you'll be opening a can of worms, sabi nga nila, right? So you need to make sure align your goals with the company. Like us in EY, our goal is to build a better working world. Okay, so is it aligned with your goal? Are you looking for a company who has a certain vision, who's passionate with that certain goal? Like with us, all of the things that we do, the business is aligned doing that. So do you also believe in that vision? If not, then perhaps you need to look for a company that their mission vision is aligned with you. That's why it's stated in their website, right? Usually companies indicate that first who they are, and then their mission vision or the goal of the company. Okay, so how they envision the company after 10, 20, 30 years. So you can check that out so that you can answer this question better. Okay. So again, you need to make research. Noon kasi hindi uso yung pag-research basta pag nag-apply ka lang ng sabak. Okay. So nowadays, I believe your generation is a bit more competitive compared to our generation. Okay, because before our struggle is different. Our struggle is how to get a company to notice us. That's why we print out our resume hard copy. We walk in the streets of Ortigas, the streets of Makati, give out the hard copy of your resume, katok ka, each company, ganun. So those were our challenges. Right now, it's very easy with your Jobs 180 resume link, right? You don't need to um, look for an HR personnel each floor of a certain building just to pass your CV. Okay, it's as easy as just creating your Jobs 180 link, then that's it. And then give that certain link, plus may security pa involved, right? So the challenge naman with your generation is a dami ng mahusay. How can you prove that you're one of the best or that you deserve this spot, right? Because there are a lot of pansin ko lang with your generation, most students or most candidates are really focused on their goals. They're eyeing a good company. They're thinking of their career goals already, and then all the decisions that they're taking is towards that career goal. Okay, unlike during our end, I'm not sure if that's just my experience, but um it's not really that way. That's why once we turned 30 plus, we're kind of, thinking twice. Why did I do that during my early 20s? Why didn't I plan? Why didn't I budget my salary? Why didn't Because things like this webinar right now, we're not present during those days. Or if it was, it's a very limited access. Okay, so we just go to the battle without any sword or without any guns or anything. Okay, right now you have these tools already. You have webinars, you have your Jobs 180 account, your resume link is there, right? So I need to make sure that you'll be able to maximize that. So for this question naman, what is your greatest accomplishment? You need to think and perhaps reflect, do some self reflection, because of course only you knows what to answer sa question na to. Okay, so but my advice is that don't use we too much. Okay, it should be I statements always. I spearheaded this project. I led this project. If you didn't lead that, I was part of this project and helped reach the certain target. Okay, so and don't downplay your accomplishments. If it's really an accomplishment, then consider it as an accomplishment. You were awarded this, or you were given this award. Say it. You were given this certification. Say it. Okay, so sometimes there are types of people like that. Parang nahihiya sila, feeling nila nagyayabang sila. No, it's not that way. It depends on how you say it. Okay, I'm a certified this and that. Okay. I was able to be luckily, pwede naman luckily, or I was blessed to be awarded this and that. Depende kasi yun sa delivery always. Okay, so again, be careful with how you deliver your answers. Kaya nga you need to practice and practice. Okay, so there next will be what are your career goals? So again, kayo lang makakasagot nito. So you should know and think about your short-term or long-term career goals. Okay, and align your goals with the role or what the company offers. So I just state here an example. So medyo mahaba nga lang yung sagot niya, but the example is currently my main career goal is to advance into a leadership position. Okay, I've recently begun my journey into project management and had the opportunity to guide and coach amazing teams towards success. That genuinely ignited my passion for leading, which is one of the reasons I wanted to pursue this opportunity. If you notice, words that this candidate used is advanced, began my journey, okay, coach amazing teams towards success. Yung choices of words pa lang, iba na yung dating, right? So you need to make sure that you're comfortable enough with the English language for you to be able to formulate these types of sentences, these types of statement. You need to be relaxed. Kasi minsan pag ninenervyos tayo, nagsa-stutter tayo. And you notice that genuinely ignited my passion for leading. 'Di ba? Parang dun kung ikaw yung recruiter, wow, 'di ba? Ang galing naman sumagot nito. Okay, so dun pa lang mapapawaw mo na yung recruiter kasi hindi lang yung, my long-term goal is to be hopefully a manager after 5 years, be successful, have my own house, my own car. Hindi lang siya gano'n, okay? So you need to be smart, be confident in answering. Okay, choose your words, widen your vocabulary, read, watch English movies for you to be able to widen your vocabulary, be comfortable in the English language, right? Part of this candidate answers, along with allowing me to use my technical skills and have a chance to spend more time overseeing projects, helping me move closer to my long-term goal of securing a leadership position. 'Di ba? Medyo yung sagot pa lang niya, magugulat na yung recruiter. Kasi it's not the usual answer. And the words that they use, like overseeing projects, parang um, talagang diretso na siya. And yung way niya or choices of words niya is different from the usual answers. So you need to make sure that you stand out. Kasi nga binibenta natin yung sarili natin, di ba? Need to, mamaya 20 positions, dalawa lang pala yung hinahanap. So you need to think of ways how to stand out. Okay. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Again, you need to research the role in the company, check out the career path. Like in EY, you start as an associate to senior associate to supervising associate. And then after supervising associate, you're already a manager. Okay. So you need to check that out. Attend virtual career fairs, attend on-site job fairs, ask different companies how they map their career path. Have a compelling value proposition, let your enthusiasm shine through. Maririnig kasi yan, obvious yan kahit nasa phone call or Teams or Zoom interview. If you're really enthusiastic or you really like the job that you're applying. Okay? And again, avoid these common mistakes. Okay, so usually the biggest misstep is discussing a goal that's nothing to do with the job or company. You're trying to apply for an accounting staff, and you're telling me that your goal is to go abroad after 2, 3 years and start your family there. Okay, so syempre for the company, 2 years lang pala itatagal nito. Sayang naman yung iba-budget namin for training. Okay. But if you rephrase it, so I want to be part of the company and I discovered that EY is a multinational company and that you assign some of your folks abroad and there's an option for me to stay there and be part of, let's say, EY UK. That's why I'm really interested with this because I'm hoping that I can widen my career and discover more in other countries as well besides serving our country. 'Di ba? Parang goal mo pa rin is mag-abroad, pero you were able to package it differently. So, yun. So, and then undershooting as well works against you. When we say undershooting, sobrang simple naman. Nung after 5 years, I just want to be a regular employee and be satisfied with my salary and hopefully be able to retire someday. Gano'n na, sobrang simple. So parang yun lang, maging employee or maging ganito, maging ganyan. Hindi na, parang they're thinking kasi parang you have goals ba? Nagdi-dream ka ba? Kasi if you dream, there's a certain path eh. You know, you're more, you strive more. You work harder to achieve that dream. So don't undershoot. Okay, libre naman mangarap sabi nga nila. So taasan na natin kasi wala namang bayad 'yun. Okay. And then do you have any questions for me? This is another tricky thing. As much as possible, try to ask one or two questions as much as you can. Okay, as much as you possibly can. One or two questions is safe. Wag naman parang 10 questions. Okay. What is the usual question? Oh, so about the job is a good question. Wag lang, ang tricky part is baka naman nandun na sa job posting, yun din yung tinanong mo. So again, you need to do your research. Perhaps you can ask, how long is the recruitment process? Okay, what will be the next step if hindi pa nila nabanggit? Okay, so about the company, how do you make sure that your employees have work-life balance? Yeah, or what is a typical day for an audit uh, associate looks like? Ganyan. So, mga gano'ng question na the recruiter will feel that you're really interested with the job. Yung smart questions. Wag naman yung ang tanong mo agad is, how much po yung salary? Yun agad yung tanong mo. Okay, you can ask that siguro after asking two or three more questions. Because normally the recruiters naman ask, what is your expected salary? So that's part of usually the initial interview. Okay. So there, so you need to make sure that you look smart and you look interested when you face your recruiter. Okay, so those are questions that you can ask. Okay. Pero wag naman, sabi nga nila, wag naman masyadong mamaro. Wag naman tayong bida-bida. Wag naman gano'n na nagtanong ka na, 8 tanong, 10 tanong, pina-elaborate mo na yung mission, vision, tinanong mo na, bakit 19th century kayo nagsimula? Like for EY, 19th century pa nag-start for So, bakit gano'n? Bakit 2019 lang kayo nag-land sa Philippines? Bakit hindi 2001? Yung mga gano'ng questions na you think the recruiter will really not be able to answer, or it will take 30 minutes, 20 minutes for them to answer, right? So you need to make sure that you make sense in terms of those questions. And siguro lastly, I think I have roughly 5 more minutes na lang. Just some additional, just additional tips, improving communication skills. You can try and record yourself. Okay, so if you don't have uh, someone with you, a friend, a family member, and nahihiya kayo, you can do it yourself. You record yourself and then watch it. Makikita nyo, ay, dami ko palang fillers, dami ko palang I should work on that, or kulang pala ako sa eye contact, or I think I should smile more. Yun. So, improve your listening skills. Okay? Baka naman you keep on answering without understanding the question. Okay? And then learn to manage your emotions. So, if there's a question that suddenly triggered you, medyo may emotional part. Let's say if they ask you, meron ka for example gap ng 1 year before you were able to graduate, but you were able to graduate, and then the recruiter caught that and asked you, what happened? Why did you shift from this course to this course? And then it was an emotional part of your life, like because knock on wood, someone died, or let's say your parents lost their job, you're able to continue with the study, or then you became a working student. You need to control your emotions kasi there are some candidates that you suddenly cries during an interview. I personally experienced that. Hindi niya na napigilan, naiyak siya. So need to make sure that you maintain your composure, react appropriately. And if suddenly talagang hindi mo napigilan, medyo naluha ka, siguro you can just say, apologies, ganun mo na onte, parang artista lang. Apologies, this quite an emotional part of my life, so I won't elaborate more. But basically, what happened was we had a financial struggle, and then try to talk about something else. Okay, kasi baka maiyak ka. So there, improve your nonverbal communication. So check if the recruiter is somehow fidgety already, or somehow they seem like they're impatient na, baka kasi mahaba na masyado yung sagot mo. Okay, so try to check those nonverbal communication. Prioritize soft skill development. Okay, so what are soft skills? Soft skills actually are now called essential skills. These are empathy, adaptability, teamwork, open-mindedness. Okay, you can directly improve your communication skills through that, and also you can inform them that those are your skills if you're really if you're really a team player, and give them a reason why you say so that you're a team player. Okay, so you need to focus on improving these skills because right now, these are the skills, especially this 2023, that recruiters look for as well. Okay, soft skills. So try to research on that in your free time, and then be receptive to feedback. I know sometimes receiving feedback is hard, right? But you need to pay attention for both verbal and nonverbal feedback. You need to check if, let's say, nodding their heads, like the recruiter is nodding their heads, it means that um, they somehow get your point. Okay, or if they look confused, perhaps you need to elaborate more. Okay, don't wait for them to tell you, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, can you repeat what you just said, or can you tell me or explain this further. If you think that their face like something like that, parang nakakulot na yung noo, or if they're smiling, it means, oh, you're doing good, then answer pa, or your answer is better, then keep on going, right? Communicate clearly and regularly. So again, it you need to make sure that you're staying on the topic. Baka mamaya ang layo na napuntahan ng topic. They're just asking you, how do you think you should commute from here to the location? Sometimes they ask that to check how you arrange your thoughts and put your thoughts into words. So you just need to stay on the topic. Baka mamaya napunta na kung saan yung usapan, napunta na sa experience mo before when you were commuting, na na-hold up ka, na nadukutan ka, baka mamaya napunta na ron. Right? So you need to make sure to stick on the topic, especially true with technical subjects or complex issues. Okay, so of course, before we end, I want to invite you guys to check out our jobs180.com /EYGDS page. And if you're interested, because currently right now we're looking for 500 plus audit associates who can start as early as July. If you're willing to relocate and all, you can send us your resume link at campusrecruitmentph@gds.ey.com. Okay, so that's it for me for now. Back to you, Miss Joyce.
All right, so thank you so much, Mariel, and thank you for discussing your topic, answering interview questions. So to Trent and FCU, so we are now opening the floor for questions. So if you have questions for regarding the topic, so please kindly post your questions on the comment section. Ayan. So we'll wait for your questions. So sayang po, no? So we still have three speakers, two speakers left actually after Miss Ken. So, ayan. So, if you have questions, ayan, and on June 9, sabi nga namin, meron kayong job fair. So, this is the right time to ask. Ayan, kasi baka magkaroon bigla ng interview on the day of the job fair para at least you're prepared naman na, no? So, ayan. So, while waiting for questions, Miss yeah, meron actually may mga nag-PM na ng question. So, for first question, so not quite the particularly related with the topic, but the question is for and EY daw po. So what is the most contributing factor or you always expect and consider to an applicant when hiring them?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, for EY, actually, inform candidates list wondering on-site job fair or career fairs. Bibigyan ko na talaga agad sila ng tip. Sabi ko, guys, during the initial interview, normally they check your English communication skills because EY
Mm-hmm.
is a multinational company. So you need to make sure that you answer in English. Since the question is in English, don't try and ask them if you can speak in the vernacular or speak in Filipino. So already expect that they are also expecting on their end that you're being able to answer those questions clearly and concisely using the English language. Because if you're not aware, SGV kasi is our local partner firm. So if clients are based in the Philippines, si SGV yung nag-handle. But if clients are
Mm-hmm.
based abroad, it will be EY. So given that certain situation, all of our clients are international clients. So you won't be able to, of course, present to the client, inform them of the audit result, inform them about their tax requirements, for example, in Filipino. Okay, so there will be a gap. So that's one thing. And second, um, normally they ask sometimes if how long do you plan to stay in EY?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so sometimes I'm surprised candidates are telling the recruiter, I think maximum 1 to 2 years. So if you answer that, of course they will think na hala, alis din naman pala 'to. So there may be look for applicants who are willing to stay at least more than 2 years, right? So be careful. Initial interviews naman just normally ask validating questions if you're willing to do a hybrid setup, if you're willing to be assigned in McKinley West in Taguig like in EY. So those are the usual questions that they ask. O yan, sinabi ko na, hindi ako nakain ng tips. So those are the usual questions that they ask besides validating what's already indicated in your resume just to make sure that you've typed properly. Baka may maling email address or something. So,
Ayan, thank you, Miss Sol. Actually, a lot of job seekers were actually asking why are ano daw po BPO recruiters ask yung question ma'am na nabanggit niyo no, no na ano how long na they would stay or if they have plans on continuing their studies. Ayan, so ganun pala no. So chine-check tinitignan kung mag
yes. Kasi
stay kayo dun.
correct. Kasi for
So
example,
proper
you're
na
the,
lang.
'di ba? Put yourselves in the company shoes. You'll be training this person. You'll spending, for example, roughly 10, 20,000 for this person alone,
Mhm,
budget-wise in terms of training. Tapos after a year, they leave. 'Di ba? So you'll spend again another 20,000. 'Di ba? Compared to someone who really likes that position, if there's 20 candidates and you just need three, siyempre ang pipiliin mo na kung ikaw ang business owner, yun talagang tatagal
mhm,
na. So,
mhm,
sulit yung sabi nga nilang napondohan mo siya. So, you're able to spend so amount for the training and all. Siyempre, sometimes like in EY, we're given our laptops, our headsets. 'Di ba? Lahat ng effort is there. And then after a year, you leave. So, better give it to a candidate who's willing to stay. Minsan kasi ito, very skillful. Summa cum laude, ang galing mag-English. Pero pag sinabi sa yung 1 year lang siya, 2 years, do'n na ako sa ano, hindi naman sobrang skillful, pero talagang ramdam mo na gusto niyang maging part ng EY. I'll go with that candidate who's, telling me that I want to, stay there at least as long as EY needs me. 'Di ba, as long as I'm growing, I'm learning, I'll stay there, 'di ba? So do'n na ako kasi, malulugi lang din naman ako do'n sa 1 year, 2 years, right? And I can train this person to be the best possible employee that he or she can be, 'di ba? So there.
ayan. So, na-answer yung question. So, isa sa factor kaya hindi kayo na, ayan, na natatanggap sa BPO, hindi dahil may kulang sa inyo, dahil may plan kayo at wala kayong plano na tumagal sa isang company. So, ayun
True,
pala.
Miss
So,
Joyce. May iba
yeah.
sinasabi, "Ba't gano'n? Ano na nga ako with honors, 'di pa ako natanggap." Daig pa ako
Mm.
nitong ano, undergraduate. Minsan may mga gano'ng comparison yung mga candidate. Try to think what happened during the interview. What did you tell the recruiter? I'd rather stay with a high school graduate who's very passionate about the job and
Mm.
who's willing to learn rather than an overconfident person na will just, 'di ba, parang tinapon na lang din. Kasi for especially with BPOs and not speaking about EY, marami kasing hopper. So,
Mhm.
gusto lang nila magpataas ng sahod. Oh, mag-1 year lang ako dito. Tapos lipat na ako, tapos tataas na. Tapos 1 year ulit, tataas na. Yun. So, that's why
Ayun,
they're very sensitive with that. Being part of a BPO previously. So,
totoo naman. Kung hindi ka rin naman mag-stay, wag na lang. Ay, may hugot.
may hugot. 'Di ba? Kayo kaya gusto niyo ba yun? O,
Oo
magjowa lang
nga,
tayo. 3 months lang 6 months lang, tapos ayaw ko na. O ano
oo nga.
mafe-feel nyo, 'di ba? So, wag na.
Alright, thank you so much, Rosel. Ayan, so, ayan, may question po tayo again from Miss Jamil. Ayan, so, ma'am, how should we answer the question, hmm, why shouldn't we hire you? Parang ngayon lang ako nakarinig ng negative na,
Alam
ayan, so in
alam
case you will be asked during an
mhm.
interview.
Actually, Jamil, that's what I often ask. 'Di ba kaya I told
Mhm,
you guys earlier, I don't ask this. I don't ask why should we hire you. Because normally, ito na yung praktisado nyo eh. So I want to be tricky. I want to surprise the candidate. So normally,
mhm,
what I ask personally talaga all the time, why shouldn't we hire you? So I'm asking about your weakness normally. Okay, so tricky siya. Kasi doon ko rin na-check, bukod sa English com skills, yung how you answer, doon ko na-check kung nakinig ka or may yung comprehension skills mo. If at saka listening skills, narinig mo ba talaga, naintindihan mo ba talaga yung question? So nakuha ko na kaagad with that question. Tapos normally the answer here is your another way on asking what's your weakness or what you consider your weakness. normally, again, what you need to do is answer a certain weakness and then make sure to partner it with what you're doing right now. Let's say, you shouldn't hire me because I'm not really that good in public speaking. Again, if, like, for example, I'm an IT personnel, puwede 'yun, kasi hindi masyadong direkta dun sa role ko as an IT. Think kayo ng hindi masyadong talagang direct hit, kasi 'pag direct hit medyo alanganin kayo dun. So, like that, for example, an IT personnel, I'm not really good in public speaking. So, perhaps that's why you shouldn't hire me. But the good thing about this is I'm currently looking for webinars, and I'm practicing this by doing this. I'm reading this, I'm watching this, I'm learning. So you need to laging tahi with certain things that you do to improve this skill. And do not answer, ito na lang, yung tip ko pa isa, try to avoid, you shouldn't hire me because I'm workaholic. Okay, it doesn't really put a plus points on you. Hindi, baka kasi nasa isip nyo, ay, ito sasagot ko para ma-feel nila na talagang masipag ako. Before, effective siguro yon baka. Pero right now, recruiters are checking how you know how to balance your with making sure that you're healthy mentally and physically. So if you say you're workaholic, baka mamaya red flag kay recruiter, kasi sige ka lang ng sige, you don't know how, time management na din is a soft skill eh. So in short, you don't have that, you cannot manage your task well, right? So tricky to. So you need to make sure that you read the job ad and think of skills that you think medyo kailangan mo ng improvement pero hindi siya related dun sa role, para hindi tamaan yung scores mo in the interview.
Mm, alright. So meaning, ma'am, answering going back po with the weaknesses topic questions, weaknesses questions. Does it mean po answering weaknesses can actually ruin your chances of getting the job?
Actually, for some, yes. Especially kung siya, directly nakalagay na dun sa expectations or skills that we're looking for sa job ad, tas yun din yung sagot mo. So,
Mm.
halimbawa, project management yung ina-applyan mo, tapos ang weakness mo, planning. 'Di ba parang ang hirap naman nung gano'n. So, pero hindi naman sa sinasabi kong magsinungaling kayo. Pero
Oh,
if you have 10 weaknesses, then choose one or two na hindi direct hit dun sa job role. 'Di ba? Kasi 'pag
alright.
nagsinungaling kayo, nahahalata din 'yan. Okay? So, you need to be as authentic as you can. Basta try to avoid lang those traps na lagi po kasi akong late eh. Kahit nung nasa school po ako, siyempre dun pa lang parang, oops, I know you're trying to be honest, but siyempre
Mhm.
baka red flag yun. Lagi kang late, ganyan, 'di ba? So, may client ako, dumating ka an hour after. So, make sure that it won't affect yung job itself. Pili ka lang. Kaya kailangan talaga, Miss Joyce, they do their research, they reflect, they read the job ad. Yun talaga yung important dun. Kasi yun na yung clues yun eh, before the interview.
All right. So thank you so much, Michelle. So I think no more questions po from the audience and for me as well. So if you have final words po for the graduating students of Trent and FCU, ma'am.
Okay, so for graduating students of Trent and FCU, so what I can advise you, still, alam ko gasgas sa gasgas na, but you need to practice. Okay? Even when I started, hindi naman talaga ako magaling mag-English. Sobrang mahiyain nga ako eh. It's just that, siguro naman, after 12 years of working, nakakaya naman kung hindi pa ako confident, di ba, as part of recruitment. But what I can say is, believe that you can and you're halfway there. 'Di ba? You always read that in social media platforms because it's true. 'Di ba? You need to believe first that you can do it. And then there are a lot of people who love you, who support you, who'll be there if you ask them na tulungan mo naman ako, practice tayo. Kunwari ikaw interviewer, Google it. Top 10 common interview questions, or kung gusto mo pa ng challenge, most difficult interview questions. Then ask someone to help you out and then practice. Okay, if you're overconfident, you don't practice, then you might be surprised during the interview itself. Okay, but if you practice, you're confident enough, siguro naman, after a month or so of practicing, you'll be able to do it. And apply and apply. Okay, don't think that, I'm not qualified for this. Okay, so I'm sure you can do that. And if not, let's say worst case scenario, um, count yun as practice. Di ba? Kung hindi ka natanggap, okay lang, nakapag-practice naman ako ng interview. So apply ka ulit. 'Di ba? So doon kasi matututunan nyo ito pala yung usual na tinatanong, dapat pala hindi ko gawin 'to, dapat pala hindi ko sinuot 'to, 'di ba? I'm sure Jobs 180 has webinars as well regarding what to wear during an interview, whether online or actual. So you learn. Sa mistakes natin, that's where we learn. Okay? So that's it. So don't
All
be
right.
afraid to commit mistakes. Thanks, Miss Joyce.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the words of wisdom. And ang dami, diba? If you do not believe in yourself, no one else will. And practice do not make us perfect, but will improve us. Ayan. So, thank you so much, Miss Yel, for joining us today, for sharing us your time and your knowledge. So, maraming salamat as always, Miss Yel. Ayan. So, laging ang ganda ng kwentuhan natin with Miss Yel. Ayan. So,
Thanks,
sorry po
everyone.
kasi time bound. So, as much as we want to ask pa Miss Yel po questions. Ayan. So, um, we have two speakers left. So again, so if you're interested, you may submit your resume link at www.thechops180.com/ EYGDS. So moving on to our next topic, ayan, communication skills in the workplace. So our next presenter is a graduate of BS Psychology and is a licensed psychometrician with more than a year of experience in recruitment field. So the recruiting associate from Accenture, Mr. Reymart Dabbay. Hi, Sir Kyle. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Joyce.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you may now share your screen.
Okay, sige. Let me just share my screen. Hold on.
Okay, again, so for Trent and FCU, if you have questions, so huwag po kayong mahiya magtanong. Kindly post your questions in the comment section. So we still have two speakers left. So we have still Accenture and Inspiro. Yeah.
And I think I'm screen sharing already. Let me know if it's
Yes, sir.
shared.
Uh, yes, sir. It's up po. So if you're ready po, I leave it with. I'll be back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, Sir Kyle.
All right, okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our students and to, of course, Jobs 180 team and to other speakers that are currently present today. So I will be sharing with you guys uh, short talk lang naman, no? Regarding communication skills in the workplace. So, communication skills is very important to note because this is part of our daily lives. We have communication skills in a lot of aspects in our life. You know, for example, communication skills are vital in establishing social relationships with other people. Let's say within your family, having or establishing a good communication skills will help you build a healthy environment with them. You'd be able to open up yourself with them, to your social relationships, like for example your friends, your partner, if you have any, di ba, yung mga taken dyan. It's very important that you always try to improve your communication skills in order for you to have a truce, no? Meron kayo pagkakasunduan and hindi kayo nagkakagalit or nagkakaaway all the time. And that is also important in the workplace because it helps build a harmonious working environment with you and your colleagues, with your supervisors, and that's what we are discussing today. All right, so we will be starting off with some examples, no? Just to give you guys a better overview of how we can improve on our communication skills. So, for example, you can see here a phrase. So, let's say we are exchanging emails, ano? Email conversation. And then let's say I've been giving you instructions out already. I'm spoon feeding it to you, no? Ever since your training, ganyan. Pero you can't seem to grasp kung ano yung nasasabi ko sa'yo. So, some employer might be at some point get frustrated and would say some things like, you better reread the whole email so you won't ask me stupid questions. The thing is, this phrase might be true for other people, whether it is you as an entry level working employee, or you'll be receiving this email from a higher people from your company. Now this actually happens, no, at some point in our life, especially in your career, that you might be able to receive harsh um, email or communication with from other people, or vice versa. You might be the one who is giving out this kind of um, words or communication to your sub employees, ganyan. So instead of saying this, although this is a valid response, pero this is something kasi that you only keep into yourself. Now you don't bluntly say it to other people, because of course you have to consider what they are feeling or what they might feel if in any case you tell them these phrases. So for you to better reword this phrase, you can simply say, as per my last email. No? So walang feelings na ma-hurt, no? And you were able to communicate, just please refer to your last email, no? So let's say for example, it's an instruction, as per my last email, this is how you should do it, blah 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 blah, and then ganyan. So there is no miscommunication, no, there is no emotion that is involved, no, strictly professional, and it's a way to communicate um what you're trying to say better, no? So instead of saying the first one, you can say, as per my last email. And then another example, no, let's say for example, you are requesting for vacation leave or sick leave, ganyan, or any other kind of request, no? So, and then unfortunately, let's say nung nagre-request ka, madami kayong workload, or let's say you are still not sure if you will be considered, uh, I mean yung request mo considered approved, no? So you will be writing a lengthy email, and then in exchange, in the conversation, you've mentioned, I'm just trying to sound polite after I did all of your requests. No? So, doesn't mean naman that your teammate has requested you to do something, you will be using it as a bullet para, you know, once you requested something, you would automatically think that they will also accept your request. No? Because wording this in this way, it might sound arrogant for some other people. Walang sense of um, pagiging humble. So in order for you to reword this, and say things in the nicest way, you can say kind regards, no? Or I'm hoping for your kindest consideration, no? So whether you've done something for that other people, for that other person, or you haven't done anything for them, if in any case you would like to request something, or in case you have a wish that you'd like to do, whether it is about your workload, or you want to adjust your schedule, you always have to say kind regards, or I'm hoping for your kindest consideration, because they will get your point. They are just waiting for you to parang say it in a humble way, kasi you're requesting of something, especially if you are, let's say an associate level requesting something to your supervisor, no? Of course, they would consider it naman. They just want to see that, you know, kahit na nagre-request ka ng something, it's kind of like you're grateful if they will be giving this, this thing for you. For example, your vacation leave. Ako, I always take vacation leave like at least once a month, or at least um, like long weekend, ganyan. And I always consider sa email, I'm hoping for your kindest consideration, although alam ko naman ang maa-accept yung vacation leave ko. So, ano lang, parang it's just part of good manner within the team. And then next, this is the last time I'm saying this to you. So, when you hear these words, or if these words are something that comes out from your mouth, no, it might sound negative for other people. It's because para ka nang exhausted sa mga sinasabi mo and paulit-ulit ka na lang. Again, this might be a valid feeling for you personally, no? Pwede ka saying this is something that that is how you truly feel. Pero, in order for you to create a harmonious working environment and, a good teamwork, with your teammate, iterate this matter, no? So, kasi door, for coaching, it's like you are not trying to give out more learnings for a single next time. No? So from the word itself, there is a sense of superiority. No, you're showing something like next time ganito should be done next time because you're make mistakes. No, of course, mistakes are errors or something that we try to avoid in the workplace, especially if it's a confidential matter. It involves client. Pero errors, mistakes are inevitable in the workplace. No, so instead of saying this, you can say moving forward. So moving forward, I'd like you to blah 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 and blah blah blah. Moving forward, this is how you should do it, ganyan, ganyan. So, you see the difference from these examples, no? There is always a matter of consideration. Uh, because as much as we want to um, say how you really feel, it's better if you try to word it out in a nice way. Kasi wala namang magandang nangyayari if you're just saying things out of your mind, no? You have to think twice before sending an email. You have to reread it if necessary, no? Tingnan mo kung if that message, no, that you're sending, how will it affect your co-employee or your supervisor? You have to consider what would they feel once they have read your email. So good communication skills in the workplace, it ensures employee have the information that they need to perform well, build a positive work environment, and of course, it eliminates inefficiencies. So that's why you have to take into consideration yung mga sinasabi mo before sending it out, whether it is via email or via meeting, no? So at least sa email nga you can choose to reword some stuff. You can delete, you can clear the things that you've said and say nicer things. Pero in person it might be different. So you also have to think twice before saying anything, especially to your co-workmates. All right. So next, these are effects of good communication skills for workplace success. So first, if you have a good communication skills, it mitigates or avoids conflict by choosing the right words to express our ideas and our feedbacks. So sabi nga nila, it's not what you say, but how you say it. No? Sometimes we just have to choose the right words, no? Instead of again just saying what's in the top of your head. Sometimes you have to reconstruct it already in your mind before saying it to that particular person. Kasi, especially if you are um, your emotions are already built up. Let's say, for example, you are in a situation na medyo heavy na yung emotions, you guys are dealing with a project, and then nahihirapan na kayong lahat, and you're about to burst, no? Kasi nga, although it's a teamwork, syempre meron naman tayong individual hardships, ganyan. So, malapit na kayo lahat kayo malapit na kayo sa breaking point nyo. So, it's best to choose the right words because meron ng thin line of you guys having a mental breakdown because of the workloads, no? So, instead of, um, bridging yourself from feeling okay to bursting out your emotions, no? Instead of, I mean, in order for you to avoid that, you have to think twice of what you should say or what should you tell your co-workmates. So let's say, for example, you can see other people from your team, they're not working hard as you are. No, instead of telling them na wala ka na bang ginagawa? Tapos ka na ba sa ginagawa mo? Tulungan mo naman kami dito para, um, para matapos na namin to. So, to me personally, it doesn't sound like you are um, parang respecting that person's time and effort, no? Because yun nga, iba-iba naman tayo ng, how do I say this, ng pacing, in terms of workload. So, you can say, you can tell them na, let's say, good job, you've already finished your part. I think it would be helpful for our team if you could lend us a help, no? So we can finish this project right away. So ako personally, pag narinig ko yun, may sense of recognition kasi they recognize that I finished my work very fast and they're asking me um, in the nicest way to help them. So I would immediately help. Oh, sure, no worries. I would be helping you guys. So at that point, you guys were able to avoid conflict. No, you did not start something. You did not start a fight. You just have to say things in the nicest way in order for you to engage with them um, regarding your project or your workload. And the next, it enhances good employee engagement. Again, it's part of teamwork, no? Sometimes kasi communication skills is not limited to what you say, what you write, what you send as an email. Sometimes nonverbal cues are also included. So you also have to consider maybe you are the problem, no? Sometimes okay nga yung sinasabi mo. You are saying the nicest things. However, 'di ba, umiikot naman yung mata mo. Um, meron ka naman mga nonverbal cues that are negative. So you also have to consider your nonverbal cues together with the things that you will be saying in order for you to communicate with them efficiently. And the next, good communication skills. So good communication creates better client employee relationship. So of course, if you have already conversed all the things that you needed to in the nicest way to your client or to your employer, supervisor, colleague, they would have a better overview of who you are. Si Kyle, if he will be asking for, how do I say this, for request, no? If may request siya, since lagi naman siyang nice magsabi sa akin, he's always saying the word please, no? Or out of respect of your time, ganyan, and your workload. Kumbaga, you're giving out, um, uh, how do I say this, good words to them, no? So it will help you build a good relationship with them. So it's easier for you to relate. It's easier for you to communicate with them. It's easier for you to work with them, of course. So that is part of establishing good communication skills with other people is that it creates a good relationship with them as well. So the next time na nahihirapan ka sa workload mo or there's something that you don't understand that only particular employee understand in that team, it's easier for you to ask help. And the next, it creates opportunity for growth, whether it is personal and professional aspect. No, so if you're able to establish a good communication skill, it's easier for you to connect with other people, personally and professionally. So personally, in your life, it would be easier for you to how do I say this? Express how you truly feel without necessarily hurting others people. Without necessarily hurting other people's emotion. No, um, and in professional aspect, it's easier for you to connect with higher leads. No, kasi you can get a recommendation from your supervisor. This is Kyle. He is a good teammate. He's also very kind and he can work efficiently in this kind of project. No, so it's easier for you to communicate with other higher needs. No, for example, in my case, um, the thing is, I always try to be nice and accommodating to most of our speakers when I request speakership. um when I try to invite other people, I always tell them that we as a team are grateful to have them as our speaker or as our representative for this kind of event. Ganyan. So I also try to, establish a good rapport with them and find something that we somehow have similarities in. No? So for example, I invited a speaker for a particular event and I can see na based from their bio note, they enjoy badminton. In the course of, communication with them before their event, I would tell them na, hey sir, sir, ganto, I saw that you're a good, sorry, you also love playing badminton. I also enjoy playing badminton, stuff like that. And then ayun, magkakaroon kami ng a little conversation, a little bit of rapport. So for the next time that we will be having an event, it's easier for us to connect with them kasi there's a sense of relatedness through building a good communication skills. Okay, so I guess I just want to leave some quotes, no, for you guys. So Nat Turner said that good communication skill is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Like what I've said, um, it is not what you say but how you say it. Sometimes kasi kahit um, walang intention yung sinasabi mo. I mean, you did not say it in the kindest way pero you don't have any negative intentions naman. It still might be perceived differently by other people, no? So it's easier if you will just say things in the nicest way, no? So parang kunyari, for example, sinabi mo na as easy as pa-help naman, you message, no, sa kunyari virtual kayo, pa-help naman ako dito. So yung iba siguro mape-perceive nila, ay need niya ng help. Or yung iba baka sabihin nila, ay pala decision ka. Parang 'di ba sabihin nila pa-help ka, wala man lang please, no? So it's easier or it's better if you would just tell them guys, may ginagawa ba kayo? Patulong naman dito please, 'di ba? So it's how you say it talaga. So next, communication, the human connection is the key to personal and career success. Like what I've said, having or establishing good communication skills will help you go or move further in your career path. No, especially if you're a good communicator, no, you can be you cannot be the best probably in your team, pero if you can work effectively with other people, if they ask you a favor, you will do it right away. And then if they ask you something, no, and if you cannot do it, you respectfully decline. No, those kind of components of good communication skills will help you in your career journey or in your career path, whatever career you choose, because you can effectively communicate with them. So I think that concludes my talk for communication skills. If you guys are interested to know more about Accenture, our company, please visit accenture.com/page students. We also have opening in jobs180.com/Accenture. You just have to check and visit the website. And then those are other social media platforms that we have, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, to know more about our company. So I think that's it. I'm sharing. I'm passing the mic to Joyce, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Sir Kyle, and to our audience, FCU Trent. So if you have questions po for Sir Kyle, and of course regarding the topic, com skills, so kindly post your questions in the comment section. So while waiting, Sir Kyle, I'll be asking questions na po. So we are, since we are time bound, um let's be quick po. First question is for you, Sir Kyle. Do you think technology does technology affects our way of communicating, or do you think technology is enhancing or hindering interpersonal communications po?
Um, Technology, I guess I can set as I can use an example yung remote work setup, no? Because when we are
Mm-hmm.
on a remote work setup, obviously we are using technology devices like our laptops, phones. So I think it doesn't necessarily hinder good communication
Mm-hmm.
from another party, no? Kasi the thing is, let's say for example, I think ang ma-avoid mo lang um, pagka through virtual talk is yung non-verbal cues, because sometimes you can talk to other person without necessarily seeing them, no, kahit walang
Mm-hmm.
camera. Pero again, it still depends on how you say or how you communicate your thoughts with them. Kasi let's say via chat, no? Meron naman kasi sa chat na smiley face, right? Or sad face, sad reacts, happy reacts. So I think that could help, no? On your message, if you really want to say something, let's say you want to commend someone, ay, good job on your um, recognition, ganyan. You've done very well, and then just send out a smile emoji. It's effective. No, I've been doing that, so I don't think technology necessarily hinders communication. I think it um, is an improvisation from what we are used to, talking face to face.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, sir. And do you think po poor communication causes work stress?
Yes, poor communication skills definitely causes stress. No, look at it this way, perhaps. For example, you are good at your workload. Nagagawa mo lahat ng trabaho mo. You can finish anything, no, on a swift. Pero when your teammates are asking you for help and parang hindi ka nagre-respond, hindi ka uh, nagde-decline ka because you think that's not part of your workload anymore, it creates stress within the team, no? Kasi sila nasa stress kasi sila because they already have workloads, and then yung attitude mo pa is kind of off with them. So stress sila, and then you will feel some type of way because of how you communicate with them and how they communicate with you after what you've done. Na you decline kasi you don't feel like it's your workload anymore. So it creates stress, no? It creates emotional stress kasi you cannot communicate effectively with them because the next time that ikaw naman ang may favor, ikaw naman ang mag-ask ng help kasi madaming workload mo, I don't think they would help you. They might help you pero you might hear some words from them pa. So yes, it can definitely create stress, especially
Mhm.
if you are not I mean, if you're explicitly saying what you're truly thinking, but rather considering how you would feel.
All right. Thank you, sir. Um, as an employee, Sir Kyle, do you have the right to ask someone or address people in your workplace po? 'Di ba merong mga taong very hard to talk to. So do you think they have the right to ayan, ask them or address?
Okay, all right. Sige, actually, the thing is that really happens
Mm-hmm.
in the workplace. No, meron talaga tayong mga co-employees that are quite a challenge to deal with. No, sometimes sa attitude nila it affects the team as a whole because you guys would already establish a different kind of thinking towards them na ano ba yan, ang
Mm-hmm.
aga-aga, galit agad, ganyan. I think the best way for the team to deal with it is that first you have to talk to them. Um, Probably set a meeting, no? Kasi it would not be resolved pagka ikaw lang yung nagsabi without the consensus of other people. They have to hear what you will be saying para parehas kayo ng mga nasa thought na you all agree that that particular person has an attitude. So let's say set up a meeting and then tell them what they're good at. Pero whatever they're good at, their attitude hinders it. No, but again, say it in the nicest way. The goal kasi you have to also establish ano yung underlying goal. Why are you guys saying this to that particular person? Ano bang goal niyo? Gusto niyo lang bang magalit or gusto niyo lang bang parang mag-attitude din sa kanya? If that is the goal, then I don't think you guys are achieving anything at some point. So you have to understand that the underlying goal should be we want to address your attitude because we want to build a good team, a harmonious working environment. Para eventually in the succeeding projects or workloads that you guys will be having, it's easier for to communicate. Guys, ang hirap, let's do it more efficiently, mas mabilis natin gawin, di ba?
Mhm.
So parang, it creates a better uh, communication between the team.
I agree, sir, especially if you're in one team lang tapos ang hirap i-reach out ng mga kasama. Alright. So, I think, no more questions, sir, from the audience and from me as well. So, and so apologies po. So we are time bound as much as we want to ask more questions po, Sir Kyle. So, ayan. So, thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Thank you so much, Sir Kyle.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. All right. So, if you're interested to know more about Accenture, and if you're interested to submit your application, so you may submit it at www.jobs180.com/Accenture. So, for our last topic for today, which is new normal world of work. So, our last presenter took up a Bachelor of Arts and Entrepreneurship back in Quezon City University. So, also worked as a customer service agent for 3 months, and currently part of Inspiro and is one of the lead recruiters in um, candidate engagement. So she is also known as Mikay B, a rising Filipina YouTuber who does song covers and writes her own songs. And up to date, she has remarkable performances with other Filipino talents. Also, our supervisor candidate engagement from Inspiro, Miss Micaela Mikay Bobis. Hi, Miss Mikay. Good morning po.
Hello guys, good morning. Good morning po Miss Joyce.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning. Ma'am, you can now share your screen.
Alright. Okay, so let me share my screen first.
All right, so Miss Mikay is our last presenter for today, guys. So if you have questions po, ayan, so we still have time. You can still post your questions in the comment section. So I'll be there for Miss Mikay's presentation. And so after this, we will be releasing the evaluation link, which will serve as your attendance for today's session. Ayan. So ma'am, it's up. Kindly put it in full screen.
So how about now? Naka full screen na po siya?
On my end, not yet, ma'am. Not yet, ma'am. Kindly share it again na lang po.
Okay po, saglit lang guys.
Sure, ma'am. No worries.
Ayan. Okay, how about now po?
Ayan, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's in full screen na po. So if you're ready, ma'am, and leave it to it po. I'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Mikay.
Okay. Thank you po Miss Joyce. Ayan. So, hi everyone. Good morning. So, again, my name is Mikay. And I hope everyone is having a great day. So, first, I would like to thank Jobs 180 for having us for for this kind of live stream again with Jobs 180. And also, as a speaker today, and our discussion will be all about for new normal world of work. So let's start. Okay. If this pandemic never happened, so this version of who you are right now would have never existed yan. So this is very true. So I would like to start by sharing something that will hopefully motivate everyone sa live stream na to for here today, that if we will discuss this pandemic way back 2020 or 2021, uh the world changed everything now. So we've lost, we've hurt, and we've been pushed to our limits. And also, we grown and learned lesson that I don't really think if we would learn had this or not happened at all. So this time, last year also has been different. So marami talaga nangyari. Meron tayong mga shortage, and then yung to call this one, nahihirapan tayo sa pagpasok sa trabaho. So, andun yung mga struggles ng mga pandemic pa. So, way back 2020. So, despite of the difficulties na nangyari sa atin ng mga pandemic, so what remained in us, for us Filipinos, no, in human nature is being resilient. So, COVID-19 ka lang, Pinoy kami, as we say, di ba? Ang dami talagang palaban ng pandemic. So, hindi naman tayo nagpatalo. So, nakasurvive tayo. So, for this one, last year we saw a significant shift in the way we work. So the following relaxation of pandemic restrictions, many enjoyed a return sense of normality, but companies everywhere took the opportunity to revisit how their businesses operated. Yan. There's a lot of businesses around the Philippines and also sa other countries din, um, which is yung mga stocks nila talagang wala sila mapagkunan ng mga stocks. Lahat ng struggles lalo sa business dahil wala nga nagiging customers, wala ang pumupunta sa direct stores nila dahil lahat ng tao nasa loob ng bahay. Kaya mas maraming stores ang nag-take down ng store nila, talaga nagsara sila. Kaya yun yung mga number one struggles ng mga businessmen. Kaya so far, mga nakasurvive, yung mga online stores, yan. Gumawa sila ng application, yung iba application, and then yung iba nag-online selling sila. And then marami pang ways paano sila nakabenta. So for the slide, next, flexible work options are here to stay. So yeah, flexible work options are certain to continue trending this year. So the accelerated development and successful use of workplace, technology, and virtual collaborative tool has laid the necessary groundwork for remote work. So to be here to stay. So whether that be home, office, hybrid, yeah, nagaling na kami dyan sa hybrid, and work from home anywhere. So mas convenient sa atin lahat yung mga work from home. Ayun yung mga ginagrab nating opportunities. As of the moment, meron naman tayong mga work from home, pero not 100% nag-o-offer na sila ng work from home since balik na tayo ulit sa normal. So, balik din sa on-site as work arrangement. So, next. Alright. Okay, non-linear career paths will become the norm. Ayan. So, careers spent within the same division, so let alone at the same company, are slowly becoming harder and harder to find. So, instead, when we say linear career paths, where individuals move different roles and industries. So, hindi lang sila stagnant dun sa isang career na gusto nilang hanapin. So, most likely, kung ano yung skills na meron sila sa sarili nila, yun na lang siguro yung hinahanap nilang path for their career. So, one of the reasons for this is changing nature of work. So, with the rise of the gig economy and the freelance workforce, so this is allows to those people to take on a variety of different roles and gain diverse experiences. So, totoo naman yan. Kasi kung nandun lang tayo sa iisang skills and community and then yung career kung saan tayo papunta, guys, hindi tayo masyadong mag-grow. So, let's try different roles. So, ganun din yung ginawa ko before. Kaya, mas maraming changes and growth na mapapansin nyo sa sarili nyo. So, next, an increasing use of AI. So, artificial intelligence and automation are likely to be adopted by even more companies, no? And to improve efficiency and productivity. So, unti-unti na rin naman na tayong na i-invade ng AI. So, hindi na bago sa atin si AI. So, these technologies can be used to automate respective tasks. Siyempre, mas napapadali yung mga workloads natin na pending. So, mas nagiging effective and mas pinabilis niya pa. So, process large amounts of data and make more accurate predictions. So, dati, record lang tayo, but with the use of AI, we have more, what do you call this one? Yung mismong precise and yung accurate talaga na informations lumalabas na immediately. So, wala na tayong kapagod-pagod pagdating sa mga use of data dahil meron na tayong AI. So, with the use of this technology. Okay, so next is growing importance of soft skills. So, soft skill will be the yin to the yang, which is the increasing of use of AI. So, since software and AI will be taking over with automating more on our task. And also, soft skill will become more important than ever. So, in particular, soft skills such as the creativity, adaptability, and communication that cannot perform by AI will become more in demand. So, one of the most important soft skill is social skills and ability to meet new people and build meaningful connections. So, those global decline as a result of the social isolation. All right. Okay, so for this slide, sorry. Okay, greater emphasis placed on mental health. So the pandemic and resulting social isolation have highlighted the importance of mental health. So ito yung mga most recent na topics sa Twitter. So marami siyang scope pagdating sa topic na to. So sa mental health, hindi lang to basta-basta sineset aside kasi kailangan sa workplace natin, meron tayong stable na mental health. Kung wala tayo niyan, hindi tayo maka-work ng maayos, 'di ba? Pagdating sa mental health natin. So, this pandemic resulting to social isolation have highlighted the most important of mental health and well-being in the workplace. So, companies are likely to continue to focus on creating a culture that prioritizes employee. So, yun talaga yung pinaka-priority ng ibang companies kasi wala silang magagawa kung yung mental health mo is not very stable. So, ang employee magiging number one reason yan dyan is yung tardiness niya, syempre sa mental health, kaya ang ending niya minsan hindi na siya tumutuloy sa work, umuuwi na lang siya. So, yan yung hindi natin sineset aside as I mentioned a while ago. And then, we also expect to see the addition of further mental health related resources to support healthier relationships between the employees and their mental health. Siyempre, hindi pwede um, yung mental health mo is hindi maganda yung environment mo sa work. So, that's an additional plus points para dun sa mga mental health natin, syempre yung mga kasama natin sa work. Okay. So, a growing workforce and decreasing unemployment rate. Ayan. So, this is the good topic. Okay, so this year has already shown early signs of inflation here in the Philippines. So marami talagang kababayan natin ang nagreklamo when it comes to inflation. So, ito yung sahod mo tas yung inflation, 'di ba, napakataas. So, nag hindi siya equal dun sa sahod natin, dun sa inflation, napakataas. Magkano na lang yung natitira sa isang empleyadong nagsu-sustain ng needs doon sa family niya, 'di ba? But here in Philippines, and this continues throughout the rest of the year. So as the economy continues to recover, so naka-recover naman, marami ng business ang nagbukas, maraming opportunities, job opportunities ang nagbukas sa atin. So that's the reason why naka-recover uli ang career or other companies that may begin to hire again more talents and will rejoin the workforce and decrease the unemployment rate. So, further to record low levels, so one of the possible way that unemployment will decrease, so isa na dito guys yung additional na uh, yung mga job fairs natin, yan, para ma-decrease yung mga unemployment rate natin. Dahil yung mga job fair or any caravans like that, ayan. Yan yung mga nabibigay sa kanila ng career para hindi na what do you call this one? Hindi na mag-spread yung unemployment rate natin. Kasi last time, sobrang taas ang unemployment rate, tambay na lang yung iba, wala nang gustong mangyari sa buhay. So, maraming job fair or maraming companies ang nagbukas for them para um, ayan, para magbigay sa kanila ng job, para may gawin naman sila sa buhay nila. Eh, yung mga gusto ng growth sa career nila, ayan, lahat ng companies nagbukas for them. Okay. So, what does the workplace of 2023 look like? So it's all part of evolution of the workplace so towards being in the incredibly diverse, total global and largely virtual. So this information or transformation won't take place all at once. So we won't see a shift into an entirely new model. So this is the physical nature of our workplaces. So there are five characteristics, guys, that will define the workplace of 2023. All right, sorry. So, ano yung una natin? It's about accessibility, not presence. Okay. So, get the right people connected to the work that needs to be done. And if you can get them connected in a way that makes sense for organization, so then bring them in-house. And then second one, every business is a startup. So workplaces of the future will operate like startups. So with unclear governance structures, short time frames and high expectations. So this kind of organization will need to be managed with the same combination of hands-on guidance and flexibility. Next is culture. And for this one, the workplace this year will be diverse and multicultural. And table stakes for success will be inclusive leaders who understand how to leverage all of this diverse talent. And communication is disintermediated. So 10 years from now, nobody will communicate through a hierarchy unless absolutely necessary. So instead, they will take a message right to the recipient or broadcast it to everyone. So wala na siya mga hindrance. So directly magko-communicate na yung message doon sa receiver, right? And then it's not all about social media. So this year, social media will be fundamentally embedded into the fabric of our private and professional lives. So workplace of the future won't worry about the social networks and specifically for work environment because communication will naturally flow that way. Okay. So, as the world of work continues to evolve this year, it's impossible to accurately predict how changing economic and business trends might impact workplace priorities and trends. So, we still do not know how far we are from going to back to normal. So, yet we know, or at least believe, that we are heading there, and we did not survive long just to quit. So, as the world work continues to evolve this year, it's impossible to accurately predict how changing economic and business trends might impact the workplace priorities and trends. So that's the end of our discussion, guys. Thank you for listening. And if you want to know more about the Inspiro, visit our profile on Jobs 180. Ayan. There's a link on dito sa baba ng sticker na to, guys. https www.jobs180.com/Inspiro. Okay, thank you, guys. Ayan.
All right, so thank you so much, Miss Mikay. And so to our audience, FCU Trent. So Miss Mikay is our last presenter for today. So if you have questions regarding the topic, or you have questions, you have request, ayan, sample daw, Miss Mikay. Gusto ko for a
Ayan,
moment here.
bawal po mag-sample, oo.
Thank you so
Dahil
much, Miss.
ang pinunta ko po talaga dito 'yan, sa Jobs 180. But if you
Yes,
want to hear my songs, 'yan, available po siya sa Spotify and sa YouTube ko, Mika IB as well.
right. Support local, ayan. Thank you so much, Miss
Yeah.
Mikay. So ayan, so if you have questions po for Miss Mikay, so kindly post your questions in the comment section. So while waiting, Miss Mikay, I have a few questions here. So first po, um for ano po, for Inspiro po, what is your new normal recruitment strategy and screening so you can select the most fit candidate po?
Okay. So, regarding sa screening po, Miss Joyce?
Yes po. For Inspiro, ma'am, what is your new normal recruitment and screening strategies po in selecting candidates po?
Alright. Okay. Alright, so sa strategies when it comes to screening or doon sa pag-filter namin sa applicants is doon sa communication skills. So, yun po talaga yung pinakang priority na qualifications per account doon sa hirings
Mhm.
na meron po kami. Kasi kung hindi communication skill wise yung applicant, medyo pinapatry namin uli sila at least 1 month after nilang ma-failed para magkaroon uli sila ng chance for retake for another interview. So, sa screening naman, di naman po kami masyadong maigpit kasi there are a lot of accounts for local. So, yung mga Tagalog accounts like that or pwede siya mag-Taglish. So, marami mga pumapasa for that account. So, pagdating na lang siguro sa screening, kapag medyo talkative ka, yan, it's a plus. Kahit wala naman kaming screening for good communication skills, basta you talk a lot, yan, pwedeng-pwede ka kay Inspiro.
Ayan. Ayan. So thank you so much, ma'am. So how about po your type of interviews? Are you more po of ano na, virtual interviews?
For virtual interviews, that's gonna be screening pa lang po. Sa'min po yun, kaming candidate engagement. So,
Mhm.
pagdating sa assessment, on-site na po siya since lahat ng accounts kay Inspiro is on-site. Tine-train na po namin si applicant na pumunta ng site kasi yung work arrangements nila dun sa mismong account na pinapasukan po nila or ina-applyan is on-site para ma-train nila kung kaya ba nila mag-on-site or not.
All right. Are the applicants po ba allowed to go on site unannounced or walk in? Can they walk in po ba?
Yeah, they have two options naman po. So, pwede siya mag-walk-in and we have an advisory bago sila pumunta dito na
Mhm.
kailangan pumunta sila ng ganitong araw for their assessment kasi may mga ibang applicants po na clueless kung saan po sila pupuntang site because we have two sites here sa QC. So, meron po kami Munoz and then Welcome Rotonda. So, medyo nako-confuse si applicant. So, tinuturuan naman po namin sila how to get here para may exact address or kung yung exact location gusto nila pong makita. So, we need to advise them kung ano yung exact site na pupuntahan po nila.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. In today's era po, so we are more of in a hybrid tama no um hybrid setup. So
Mhm.
either work from home, so ayan, so on-site. I'm not sure po with Inspiro kung ano po yung work setup niyo today. Maybe ask ma'am. Hybrid pa rin po ba
Alright,
or
so ayun, kaming candidate engagement, I think kami po yung pinaka-last department across the sites ang nag-hybrid and then nag-stop na siya. Nag-continue
Mhm.
na po siyang mag-on-site nung last
Mm,
April. So, wala
okay.
na po talagang hybrid, pure on-site na rin. Kung may work from home naman po, that's our international account pero nag-transition na rin siya sa on-site. Pero I'm not sure kung babalik pa rin po siya uli na December kasi yung account na yun po is napakaraming agent ang kailangan nilang i-cater. Hindi kaya lahat po ng nasa site. So, let's say 3,000 yung kailangan nilang agents, sa call center agents, lahat po yun nandito sa building, hindi po kasya. Kaya po, provided ni Inspiro yung equipment for work from home. So, yun po yung inaabangan nila. Ayan.
All right. So I think po that's it. No more questions. So if you have final words, ma'am, for the graduating students of FCU and Trent.
Ayan. So, last message for those graduating students, mag-apply na kayo guys kasi um, it's up to you kung mag-a-apply or hindi, kung magpapahinga right after your studies kasi medyo pagod tayo sa thesis, no? Pero ako hindi rin kasi ako nagpahinga that time. Talaga nag-apply ako right after graduation. Sorry, kasi lahat ng opportunities talagang gina-grab ko kasi pag ikaw feeling mo sa sarili mo napapag-iwanan ka na, wala kang trabaho, so that's not a big problem kasi wala naman tayo kanya-kanyang iba-iba yung timelines natin. So, if you want to apply, so ayan, andito kami, Inspiro Philippines. Meron tayong mga local accounts, napakalapit namin. Ayan, nasa likod po namin yung building ng Espanya Tower. Malapit lang. Nandito
Mhm.
tayo sa Rotonda, yung monument ng Quezon City. Andyan lang kami. So, apply kayo guys ha. Ayan lang.
All
Thank
right.
you
So
po, Miss
thank you
Joyce.
so
Thank
much,
you
Miss Mikay.
guys.
So if you're interested, you may submit your resume link, your application, at www.jobs180.com/inspire. So thank you so much, Miss Mikay, for sharing your time with us today po. So thank you for joining us, and we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. And thank you so much, Miss Mikay. All right. Okay, so there you have it, guys. We are done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. So to our audience, thank you so much po for staying, and we hope you learned and enjoyed the session. And if you still have questions, you may send us a message sa aming Facebook. So facebook.com/jobs180.com, or you may email us at info@jobs180.com. Okay. So to close our program, may we invite Mr. Emmanuel B. Tan, LPT, the head teacher from Trent Information First Technical Career Institute, to give us the closing remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope that I'm audible. Am I audible? Yes. Am I
Yes, sir.
audible po? Sorry,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. So on behalf of Dr. Akira Kisip, our beloved principal, our utmost thanks to the Jobs 180 and to the organizers who organized this webinar for this insightful and valuable insights, which is really timely, relevant, and useful for the aspiring corporate agents. And modestly aside, I'm a professor in professor and a licensed teacher in language and businesses. Some of my research area was about language and businesses. There's really an inter relatedness between the two. So I must say that these topics are useful and helpful to our aspiring corporate agents. So we have reached the end of our conference after stimulating discussion on business ethics and writing discipline. And I must say that in our school, we are integrating um, the concepts that were discussed earlier and reshaping the landscape of business and industry. So the conference leaves us plenty of ideas, information, and visions to reflect upon. So again, our utmost thanks to the Jobs 180.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tan. And of course, thank you so much as well, Mr. Akira Kiisip. Ayan, so maraming salamat, sir, for trusting Jobs 180 to power your events. So we will see you po on June 9 and virtual career fair. So thank you so much, Sir Tan. And of course, another closing remarks will be given to us by Dr. Webster J. This year, the Director of Student Affairs from FCU. Sir?
Good day, everyone. Congratulations to the facilitators of this activity, especially to the Guidance and Counseling Center, headed by Ma'am Amalia P. Dioy and Ma'am Don Grace O. Gison. Special mention also to the Jobs180.com for the partnership. Likewise to all the participants, our graduating students, Batch 2023, for your virtual attendance. I hope that you have gained knowledge through this activity as you embark to the real world where you have to practice your respective professions. It is my prayer that the holistic education that you have learned here at Filamer will bring you to where God wants you to be. Go and make a difference, guided by the excellent education and Christian values that you have learned here. Thank you and have a bright and promising future ahead. And may God's guidance, blessings, and protection be with you always.
Thank you as well, Dr. Webster. And at this juncture, may we ask Mrs. Amalia P. De Ayoy, RN, Guidance Staff, GAD Coordinator, FCU, for the closing prayer.
Let us pray. Everybody, may I request everyone to please join with me in prayer. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we offer to you our highest honor and glory for blessing this career orientation seminar this morning. We thank you, Father God, for jobs180.com for facilitating and offering this free seminar. We thank you also for all the speakers who have done their best in discussing the specific topic assigned to them. And we thank you, Father God, for our students who have attended, listened, and participated through asking questions. And I pray, Father God, that may you will bless them, Lord, as they continue to pursue their dreams. And I pray that may you will guide them to the direction of your Holy Spirit for them to be in the right place you have prepared for each one of them, Lord. We commit to you everything, Father. We bring back all the glory and praises to you. In Jesus' mighty name, this is our prayer. Amen and amen.
Thank you so much, Miss Amalia. And there you have it, guys. And of course, to ayan, so to our guest speakers po from Inspiro, Accenture, ayan, EY, maraming salamat po for joining us today. And of course, to our audience, maraming salamat. And of course, to secure attendance, Do not forget to evaluate this event. So the link is flashed on your screen, or you may scan the QR code po. And this is for FCU. For Trent, kindly ask Sir Akira if you have attendance link. Ayan, so this is for FCU. So again, to secure attendance, kindly scan the QR code, or you may um click the link po. Okay. And of course, we would like to thank each of you guys, each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event. And we hope that the webinar helps you be prepared in the world of work. So please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for. And please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed. And you are welcome to join in on those sessions too. And if you missed this webinar, you may rewatch the recorded vids on our Facebook and YouTube page. Ayan. So, pwede niyo pong balikan. So, the program is finally concluded. This is your host, Joyce Katakutan. We will see you soon and have a great afternoon. Ingat, everyone!